The shingles scraped against my back as Marcus dragged me across the roof, my fingernails breaking as I clawed desperately at anything that might stop my slide toward the edge. It was 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I know because I could see the digital clock through my bedroom window as we struggled, and that detail would later become evidence that I was conscious and fighting, not some suicidal teenager looking to fly. "Stop being so dramatic, Zoe," Marcus grunted, his hands vice gripped around my ankles. "You wanted attention. Here's your attention." I kicked hard, catching him in the stomach, but he was 6'2" to my 5'5", and at 19 he had 4 years and 50 pounds on me. The roof was steep, a 45-degree angle that our father had always warned us about. "One slip and you're done," he'd say. Now his golden boy was using that deadly slope as a weapon. "Marcus, please," I screamed, my voice carrying across our suburban neighborhood. "I won't tell anyone about the money, I promise." That was my mistake, mentioning the money. His face darkened, and he yanked harder. "You already did tell someone, you little bitch. Mom and Dad will never believe you anyway." He was probably right. Marcus had perfected his role as the devoted son, the Stanford-bound engineering student who could do no wrong. Meanwhile, I was the troubled 15-year-old who'd been caught with weed once planted by him, and had been seeing a therapist for behavioral issues, also orchestrated by him. He'd spent 2 years carefully crafting a narrative where I was unstable, and he was my protective big brother. But I discovered his secret, the college fund our grandparents had left us. $100,000 each was supposed to be untouchable until we turned 21. Marcus had found a way in, using his tech skills to create fake authorization documents. He'd already blown through $60,000 of his share on crypto gambling, and when that ran out, he'd started on mine. I found out accidentally, looking for a calculator in his room and finding printed screenshots of transactions instead. I'd made the fatal error of confronting him privately first, thinking we could work it out as siblings. His response was to immediately tell our parents I'd been snooping and making up stories because I was jealous of his success. Now on the roof, I realized he planned something more permanent than gaslighting. "You know what your problem is," he said, pulling me closer to the edge. "You can't let things go, just like with the cat." The cat? Mr. Whiskers, who'd fallen from this very roof last year. I'd seen Marcus throw him, but who'd believe me? Just another wild accusation from unstable Zoe. My feet touched the gutter, 25 feet to the concrete driveway below. Not necessarily fatal, but Marcus wasn't taking chances. He positioned us above the decorative boulder garden my mother had installed last spring. Jagged rocks arranged artistically that would ensure any fall was devastating. "Help," I screamed again. "Somebody lie, help me." "Go ahead and scream," Marcus said calmly. "Everyone knows you've been depressed. Mom told the whole neighborhood about your cry for help last month." That had been another of his setups, deleting my homework from my computer the night before finals, watching me have a breakdown, then suggesting to our parents that I might be a danger to myself. He even hidden razor blades in my room for them to find, which I discovered and thrown away, but not before our mother had seen them and drawn her own conclusions. I grabbed onto the gutter with both hands as he tried to push me over. The metal cut into my palms, but I held on with desperate strength. That's when I saw it, Mr. Davidson's white Tesla in the driveway next door, its sleek profile facing our house. The car was new, delivered just last week. Mr. Davidson had proudly shown off all its features at the block party, including the cameras. I gasped out loud. Marcus followed my gaze and saw the Tesla. His face went pale for just a moment before recovering. "Doesn't matter. It's just a car." But I could see the doubt in his eyes. He didn't know about Sentry Mode, didn't know that Teslas were basically surveillance systems on wheels. 9 cameras with a perfect view of everything happening on our roof. "It's recording everything," I said. "Your face, your hands on me, everything." "You're lying." But his grip loosened slightly. That moment of hesitation saved my life. I twisted hard, using his momentary distraction to break partially free. We grappled on the slanted roof, and trying to regain control, me fighting for my life. In the struggle, his foot slipped on loose shingle. For one terrifying moment, we both slid toward the edge. Marcus caught himself on the satellite dish mount. I wasn't so lucky. My momentum carried me over the gutter, and suddenly I was falling, 25 feet through empty air, the rocks rushing up to meet me. I hit the boulder garden hard, but miraculously missed the worst of the jagged stones. My left leg snapped on impact, and I felt ribs crack. But I was conscious, alive, screaming in agony, but alive. Marcus was already climbing down the ladder, his face a mask of fake concern. "Oh my God, Zoe. I tried to grab you. I tried to stop you." Neighbors were running out of their houses, Mrs. Patterson from across the street, the Johnsons from 2 doors down, and Mr. Davidson, whose Tesla had witnessed everything. "She's been so depressed," Marcus was already telling them, tears streaming down his face. I saw her heading for the roof and tried to stop her. I couldn't reach her in time. My mother burst out of the house, wailing. She's been talking about flying lately, about how she wanted to know what it felt like to fly. Oh God, we should have watched her more closely. I tried to speak, to deny it, but the pain was overwhelming. The world kept going dark around the edges, but I held on to consciousness long enough to gasp out to Mr. Davidson. "Your car? Check your car." The paramedics arrived within minutes, followed by police. As they loaded me onto a stretcher, I heard Detective Rivera questioning Marcus. "She's been struggling," Marcus said, his voice perfectly calibrated for concern and grief. "Depression, anxiety. She found out she might have to repeat sophomore year and just snapped. I tried to talk her down from the roof, but she said she wanted to fly like the birds." "I never said that," I managed to croak. Detective Rivera looked at me with sympathy but skepticism. Another troubled teen making accusations. I'd seen that look before. At the hospital, as they prepped me for surgery on my shattered leg, my parents and Marcus spun their web of lies. They told the staff about my depression, my previous attempts, my fascination with flying. They produced a journal, one I'd never seen before, filled with suicidal ideation and handwriting that looked almost like mine. Marcus's computer skills apparently extended to forgery. It would have worked. Should have worked. Troubled teen attempts suicide, protective brother tries to save her, case closed. Except for Mr. Davidson and his Tesla. He came to the hospital the next day while my family was at the cafeteria. "Zoe," he said quietly, I reviewed my car's footage. My heart leaped. "You saw everything, 9 different angles. Your brother dragging you up the ladder while you fought. The whole struggle on the roof. Him trying to push you off. You fighting for your life." His face was grim. "I've already given copies to Detective Rivera." The footage was crystal clear. Every camera on the Tesla had been recording in sentry mode, triggered by my screams. You could see Marcus pulling me by my ankles, see me clawing at the roof, hear him saying I was being dramatic. Most damning, you could see the exact moment he tried to push me over the edge, his hands on my shoulders, the deliberate shove, my desperate grab for the gutter. Detective Rivera returned with a very different attitude. "We've reviewed the Tesla footage," she said. "We'd like to ask Marcus some follow-up questions." The story Marcus had told fell apart in minutes when confronted with video evidence. He tried to claim we were playing around, that I'd asked him to help me onto the roof, that the push was accidental. But the audio was clear, my begging, his threats, the mention of the money. "What money?" Detective Rivera asked. That opened the floodgates. The investigation revealed everything. The stolen college funds, the forged documents, the elaborate gaslighting campaign to make me seem unstable. They even found the real journal Marcus had hidden, the one where he practiced my handwriting and planned out my suicide. The arrest was public and humiliating. Marcus, the golden boy, handcuffed on our lawn while the entire neighborhood watched. My parents forced to confront that their favorite child was a sociopath who'd nearly murdered their daughter. But the story didn't end there. Mr. Davidson posted a thread on Twitter about how his Tesla's sentry mode had captured an attempted murder. He didn't name names, but he included a single still frame, just the roof, no faces visible, but clearly showing someone being dragged against their will. The thread went viral. #Tesla saved my life started trending. News outlets picked it up. Tesla's sentry mode captures attempted murder, saves teen's life. Then came the retweet that changed everything. Elon Musk himself shared Mr. Davidson's thread with a comment. "Sentry mode was designed to catch vandals and thieves." Incredible to see it save someone's life by capturing attempted murder. The victim's family should have full access to all footage for prosecution. At Tesla legal team, please assist. The media explosion was instant. What had been a local story became international news. Tesla's legal team provided enhanced footage analysis that showed details invisible to the naked eye. Micro-expressions on Marcus's face showing premeditation. My injuries consistent with being dragged, not climbing, even the way he checked sight lines before the attack to ensure minimal witnesses. The trial was a spectacle, 9 different camera angles showing the same horrific event. Audio enhanced by Tesla's team revealing every word. Marcus's lawyer tried to argue the footage was somehow edited or unreliable, but expert after expert confirmed its authenticity. My parents had to sit through it all. Watch their son drag their daughter across a roof. Hear him coldly plan to make my death look like suicide. See him push me off the edge with calculated force. The fake tears they'd shed over my suicide attempt turned to real ones as they realized they'd nearly helped him get away with murder. The defendant shows remarkable premeditation, the prosecutor stated. He spent months creating a narrative of mental instability, planted evidence, forged documents, and ultimately attempted to murder his sister for financial gain. Without the Tesla footage, he would have succeeded. Marcus was convicted of attempted murder, fraud, and forgery, 25 years in prison. The judge called it one of the most cold-blooded crimes he'd seen, made worse by the psychological torture inflicted beforehand. My leg healed, though I still limp on cold days. The emotional scars took longer. Trust, once shattered by your own brother trying to murder you, doesn't come back easily. But I survived, and the truth came out, all because of a neighbor's car that happened to be watching. Mr. Davidson became a close family friend, the only adult who believed something was wrong even before seeing the footage. He'd noticed Marcus's behavior, the way he'd smirk when I got in trouble, the calculated nature of our sibling disputes. I upgraded to the Tesla for the environment, he told me once. Never imagined it would save your life. The footage lives forever online, a stark reminder that sometimes the most dangerous predators share your DNA. Marcus had crafted the perfect murder, except for one miscalculation. He didn't know that in 2024, cars could be witnesses. The money was recovered and put in a trust I can't access until 25. My choice, not the courts. I wanted to finish growing up without that temptation, to build a life based on my own efforts, not an inheritance someone tried to kill me for. I still live in the same house. My parents couldn't bring themselves to move. The roof has been repaired, the boulder garden removed and replaced with soft grass. But sometimes I look up at that steep slope and remember the feeling of sliding toward death while my brother held my ankles. Then I look at Mr. Davidson's driveway where a new Tesla sits sentinel and remember that sometimes guardian angels come with 9 cameras and a genius CEO who retweets at just the right moment. Marcus wrote me one letter from prison. A single line, "You got lucky." I wrote back, "No, I got recorded." Technology saved my life by doing what humans wouldn't, watching without bias, recording without judgment, and presenting truth without agenda. 9 cameras saw what family refused to see, a brother willing to kill for money and call it love.